Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the stream. It is I, DIGI Driver, welcoming you back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. I'm not in MSFS right now, am I? I'm in Blender, but I think I am going to try to do something in Microsoft Flight Simulator this afternoon. So until then, we are in Blender 2.83, and I'm working on trying to transition from 2.83 to either the latest version of Blender or the most recently supported version of Blender for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So don't mind me getting myself ready to go, but you guys can already see my Blender window open. So hello and good afternoon to you, or good morning. It's about maybe what, 5:30 a.m. in Sydney on a Monday. So we are here, and yes, it's my first time streaming on Sunday in a little bit. I want to say about 2 or 3 weeks have gone by since my last Sunday stream, maybe more. But I have been hard at work trying to get KPYM complete. So we're in Blender, we're looking at the texturing section, UV mapping, and I am probably going to spend a little bit of time on this building, and I might start another hangar, which is on the northern or northwestern side of the airport. Do have some music playing, but based on the fact that we had an ad just cut in before, I may wind up reducing or completely eliminating the music, period. So don't mind me while I get myself set here, and I'll lower the volume a little bit more. You know what though? I might. Ugh, this is hard. I don't know if you guys have experimented with this. I'm not at a place yet where I can kind of just subsidize or use things like Artlist or Epidemic Sound, because paying for a sub is something that I want to make absolutely sure I have the dough to do. So I might look into those just to get some more consistent and just what's the word I'm looking for? Easier background music options to get set. But also something which Twitch reminded me of today is my Twitch affiliate anniversary. So I believe it was, I want to say it was either 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was, I think it was 5 years ago because I might have started streaming late in 2017. And then I got to a point where I could actually become an affiliate. It did take a while before I actually got enough subscribers to my channel to actually start rolling out the emotes. But then it happened, and now we have DigiFam emotes. But yeah, about 5 years ago, today, I actually began streaming as an affiliate on Twitch. And it's amazing to think that 5 years has gone by that quickly. But here we are. So like I said, we're in Blender, and I'm going to be looking at the long red hangar building, which exists on PYM. I don't know if they've repainted it since. I don't think they've repainted it since because my friend Eric Flight gave me some updated photography a little bit ago. Like a couple of weeks, 3 weeks ago? So we're going to take a look at maybe the picture and also get ourselves ready. But I tell you what, I'm going to do what I usually do. I'm going to go ahead and fire up the sim and just have some ambient sound. And if we have to, we'll restart the sim as usual and we'll do what we do. Unless the sim overrides my Blender window, which it shouldn't, we should be able to stay in the Blender window while the familiar flight sim sounds load up. And we'll load into KPYM just so we have some ASMR in the background, if you will. Okay, so enough of me talking. Let's get to work. I think I need better materials for the sections of the hangar that do not open up. However, I'm not going to spend too much time on this building, and there's a reason why. I am probably going to keep this building closed. However, I am going to create an interior for it. It's just not going to be as detailed or as intricate as the interiors for open or highly accessible sections of the other place, which is, of course, the Alpha 1 flight school. So let me get to work. Can I lower the volume a little bit? Yeah. Max volume is 33. It's about half that. So you guys should most likely hear me without too much trouble. Hopefully I didn't cut out the audio entirely, but we'll see. If anybody comes in and the volume is not to your liking, just let me know. We'll try to adjust it as best we can. But, you sure? Eh, okay. If you need anything, let me know. All right, folks. Um, just a quick heads up, if at any time during the stream I duck out, it's because I want to check up on Mrs. Digi and make sure she's okay. We had a nice weekend, but the both of us did a lot and she's not feeling the best today. So I'm gonna make sure she's taken care of. You know, gotta take care of Mrs. Digi and the fam. Okay. All right, tell you what, let me get up and stretch. Be right back. Okay, so I am back and I've selected the bottom textures for the long red hanger. I'm probably going to create some walls as well, but one step at a time. Let me double check the stream quality as well, just to make sure you guys are seeing things okay. Okay, things look good for now at least, so we'll roll with that. Wonderful. So in case any of you are curious or wondering why I am streaming like this, I am DigiDriver. I do scenery development for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I used to primarily do flight sim streams when I started streaming about 5 years ago, but I found after a while that I wasn't enjoying it. I took a break, and then a year ago, one of my very good friends passed away, and I thought about life. I thought about some of the things that I was doing or some of the things that I had done in the past, and for some reason, scenery development bubbled up to the surface. It was a hobby that I did years and years, literally decades ago, and I didn't think about it for a long time. But then last year, actually, I'm sorry, not last year, back in 2021, with MSFS really gaining steam and me curious about what I could do to create airports, I started messing around with things. Didn't really get too far. Then in 2022, I really decided to give it a go, and I released scenery on flightsim.to. You can find me by searching for my name, DigiDriver. You can also find my sceneries, Higginsville, which is KHIG, Warrensburg, which is KRCM, and Edmonton Villeneuve, which is Charlie Zulu Victor Lima, CZVL. I also have Whiskey 904, W94, available for purchase on Sim Markets. My very first payware, my very first payware ever. So there you go. And I'm also now working on KPYM, which is a municipal airport in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Now, the floor looks like it's covered in extremely zoomed in rubber texture. So we want to change that. Aeroflyer, hello, my friend. Good afternoon. I'm having an okay Sunday. Thank you for asking, friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you. Have a seat, get comfortable, grab some hot chocolate, a refreshment of your choice, and come along with me as we start to get cracking on this. What you're not seeing is me messing around with my file system because I want to go to my textures folder and grab some textures to put down for the floor. I believe we're going to work with concrete because I'm pretty sure the airplanes do not sit on rubber. Or if they do, it's a very, very, very thin top coat. But that wouldn't make sense. At least I don't think it would make sense. I'm looking for a reasonably good facsimile. Worn painted cement? No, that's not what I want. There's cracking painted asphalt. Yes, this is actually. This is the red long hanger, and if you were to take a look at the satellite imagery for KPYM, this is one of the first hangars you see if you come in through one of the side entrances, not the main passenger terminal. So I am working on populating the inside, but like I said at the beginning of the stream, this is not going to be a very, what's the phrase I'm looking for? It's not going to be a very detailed hangar. I'm just creating some basic details, which we're going to use to just, acknowledge the hangar's existence and just make sure stuff is there. I don't even think I'm going to spend time creating the hinges or the additional polygon work to keep this open. I think it's just going to stay closed all the time, but it'll be there and you will be able to go into the hangar. And, maybe if enough people say, hey, Digi, make this thing a hangar that I can park my plane in, maybe I'll open it up. I'm no longer afraid of making mistakes. I'm going to create scenery and my first attempts are gonna low-key suck. But that's how you learn. That's how you get better. So I am picking a texture. You know what? I think I'm going to try the cracking painted asphalt that I have through freepbr.com. So I'm going to grab it. And the normal texture is painted yellow, but I should be able to override the color with a little bit of color manipulation inside of Blender, and you'll see what I mean. I'm going to grab the normal, the roughness map. I'm not grabbing a metallic map. It's not metallic. I don't think I care about height mapping. I don't think this version of Blender supports that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think 3 textures should be fine, and I will move them into the folder, and hopefully this won't take too long. I tell you what, let me go ahead and select the scenery so that I can be ready to jump in. Unless, of course, you guys like menu music, I could periodically cycle between the different menus in the sim. But we'll see. Okay, we'll keep it here for a little bit. I need to put those files in my red long hanger folder. Nope, wrong folder. And red long hanger. I might even start another hanger before we're done for the stream today, but I'm not going to take too long because I am prepping for some friends stopping by and saying hello later this afternoon. So I will not be on as long as, some would like. I mean, who knows? I might even fly a plane. Oh my word. Don't mind me. A bit of a joke. But now I have my textures moved over. So a while ago, I learned how to have an object with multiple textures assigned to it. Now I'm going to create a new material for the concrete floor, and we're going to literally call this hanger floor. And we're going to use the MSFS standard material, and we're going to choose the albedo texture. Now, can I don't know. I'm going to do the best we can, the best I can. Okay, it won't do anything immediately because you have to assign the texture, but while I'm here, I'll also assign the roughness and normal maps to the polygon. And then we are going to go here, click assign, and blammo. And that is it. We do need to blow this texture up, and we do need to change the color as well. Iowa Scotsman, hello, my friend. Thank you for the anniversary wishes. Appreciate you. Folks, if you have not already done so, and you like to look at and follow other flight sim streamers, Iowa Scotsman is somebody that you should give some time. Iowa Scotsman is a friend of the DigiFam and the Twitch streaming community in general. So I would recommend giving Iowa Scotsman some of your time. And if you're curious, here's a link to Iowa Scotsman's channel. Now, we just uploaded these textures. First thing I want to do is change the color. So let me see if I can change the color from here. Good, good. Now, I got to work on my additive or subtractive capabilities. Oh, it's not working, huh? Thank you, Iowa Scotsman. Appreciate the support. It's been a crazy, crazy bunch of years. Crazier than the color changing effects on this floor. But yeah, definitely nuts. This may be about as good as it's going to get. Let's see. Can't I change the way that works? I guess not. I may have to use a different texture because I'm not easily able to remove the... Oh, wait a minute. Hold the phone. Maybe I am. I just put the color all the way up to pure white. Multiplier and color mix. It doesn't seem to do anything, but I do see it's currently looking way more gray or cream than actually yellow. So you know what? We're gonna roll with this for now. Let's keep things happy. So we need to shrink this texture down because frankly it needs to be smaller, or it needs to be way more spread out. And we're going to select these edges and start moving them out. Actually, you want to know what? I like the way this texture is shaped. Let me see if we can scale these textures. Okay. Lots of repeating textures. That's okay. Kind of don't care right now. And voila, a pretty creamy, definitely not dark floor. So I think what I need to do is change my color to be way darker. Oh, no. No, 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 no. I changed the wrong color. So go back here. At least the only thing I did was change the intensity. Woo. Be careful out there, kids. Okay, change my viewpoint. All right, now I know I'm working with this. So, can I make this darker? Hmm. I thought I had a generic texture before that I was using. Not like no texture at all. I'm going to use a different material for it. So instead of using that, I'm going to go back to one of my other standbys. I should have another cement texture somewhere. Standby. Floor. So I'm looking. Okay, floor textures are not the same as concrete textures, so I'm not going to use those. And I think either ambient CG or Polyhaven has a concrete texture I can use. Nope. Beige wall, no. Texture can? Nope. Okay, so it's going to have to be a concrete texture, and it's probably going to have to be something that I've used before. Concrete. Lumpy wet concrete. No, we're going to use patchy cement. Okay, great. Found it. Found it. All right, we're going to remove these textures. And we're going to copy in patchy cement. Let's see, we're going to pick the base color, normal, and roughness, and we're going to copy them and get rid of the other painted asphalt textures. I have now copied them in. We should be able to move them in. Panagon, hello, my friend. Good to see you. Thank you for the anniversary wishes. You rock. Thank you for being a part of the Flight Sim community. Thank you for being a part of the DigiFam community. Really, really appreciate you. We are working on KPYM, and I'm trying to move faster these days. I'm really not trying to take anything for granted, and I'm done being super critical of myself, man. I'm just so over it. I want to do the best I can for the community, and I don't want to freak out about trying to get textures or buildings to look good. The improvements, Lord willing, will come with time. Otherwise, we do the best we can. Look at that. Already, I can tell that the painted concrete, I'm sorry, the patchy cement texture is way better. And I haven't even applied the roughness and normal maps to it. So we're going to do roughness first, and then the normal map. And there we go. With the normal map, you really get a sense of how not shiny the texture is. I almost want to not have that, if only to give the illusion of it being nicer to work with. What do you guys think? Should I keep the normal map or get rid of it? Because this almost makes it feel a lot smoother. However, I can reintroduce the normal mapping, and I can mess with the clear coat and roughness maps. First thing we will do, though, is we will get rid of the metallic mapping, which is a preset. Ah, bonsoir, mon ami. Bienvenue, MSEP. Ça va bien? Et toi? Just do you and enjoy doing it. Thank you so much, man. This has kind of really been a journey for me. When I kind of like, and I'm not even gonna lie, when I kind of threw in the towel in early 2022, I didn't know if I was interested in streaming anymore, and that thought crossed my mind a few times since then. But finding scenery development again has been a great thing. Oh my word. Guys, I think I just discovered how to make this texture shine. This is superb. Wow. Okay. It's a little bit, it's just a little bit over the top. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you as well. Um, about that, thank you for the reminder. Um, you don't spend as long as I have in the community and stick around without talking to people, getting to know people, and occasionally making some friends. I don't know if you know about my friend Skylane. Skylane does English and French streams, and he created he created a scenery outside the US, but he never got the texturing his building. So he asked me for some help with texturing. I am going to be talking to Skylane in the future to see if I could help collaborate to help him get his scenery done and released. If you want to go check out Skylane, there's a link to Skylane's channel on Twitch. I've spent time in his streams. A pleasure to talk to and hang out with. I would recommend you go check him out if you're even just the slightest bit curious about him. I would recommend him. Okay, so I just added some. I've removed a bunch of roughness because this is 100% rough and this is 100% glossy like it got rained on. I'm going to keep it around, I'm going to say 0.3. And there's just enough sheen on this concrete layer to make it look like it actually fits. So here's the deal. These are separate. These are separate. In my opinion, I feel these are separate hangers. French Guiana. French Guiana. That sounds familiar to me. French Guiana is an overseas department of France located on the northern coast of South America in the Guianas. Oh, wow. Geography lesson. Oh, nice. Thanks for the geographic location, MSEP. Okay, now, what am I gonna do? Oh, nope, I don't need to get rid of that piece. I pressed Shift D, and then what happened? I duplicated a wall? That's interesting. All right, enough kidding around. Here's what we're gonna do. We need to create walls. So I'm probably gonna take these two polygons, duplicate them, and how can I duplicate them without having to disconnect them? That's a question. Well, we'll do the best we can. Let me create a plane to start. I need to. Let's go back to layout mode, and I'll save as I go. We're going to add a plane, which is going to show up where my 3D cursor is, right in the middle of the screen, right here. And then we're going to move that plane out from where it is. We need to manipulate the plane. It needs to stand up. It's going to be a wall. So we're going to do this. We're going to rotate it, and I usually get my rotations wrong, so if you want to laugh, go ahead. Okay, so it's 90 degrees on the x-axis, and I think 90 degrees on the y-axis. No, it's Z or Z. Air Amaruk, my friend, good to see you. Glad to have you aboard. And you just reminded me of something. I forgot to do some more shoutouts. So, folks, I don't think he streamed in a while, but I would still recommend you check out MSEP, if by some chance you catch him on an afternoon stream, MSEP has flown in the sim, and there's MSEP's channel. Air Americ, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. You know, health, working on things, trying to get better. But at the same time, let me go ahead and shout you out as well. You have been doing some interesting things on Twitch, so I want to make sure you get some attention also. There you go, folks. Go check them out. Now, we have a wall, but that wall needs to get attached here if it's going to make any use or be useful at all. What we need to do is find the what was it, X coordinate? Yes, the X coordinate. So we're going to use this X coordinate and we're going to assign it to the vertices here because I need them to be where I need them to be. Wait, X? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Stop. That's where it is locally. Oh, you got it, my friend. Blender, usually I have to spend a little bit of time adjusting where textures go. So let's see, right about here. All right. I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and put up some ASMR sounds from the sim. So right now we're loading into PYM, and I might show off the finished work this afternoon. Maybe even do a really, really quick, fun flight in the 414. And apologies to purists. I am just going to hop in the plane and the runway and go fly and enjoy it if that's the case. Ooh. It looks foggy and super not fit for a VFR flight. Okay, don't mind me. I'm going to just load my scenery in. And if we do get a chance to mess around with it, we will. In the sim, I mean. Otherwise, we'll just keep the sim on for sounds. And you guys should be able to hear it. I may adjust my... Well, I'm going to have to adjust my windows because this is so big at a lower resolution. I lowered my resolution. I was like around 2160p, but I wanted to get some frames back if I went flying. So I figure it's easier for me to have a lower resolution now than to have problems later. Oh, I keep pressing the wrong buttons. I get my screen manipulation mixed up between the sim and what I have. Now I should be able to increase my volume. Okay, that should be good. Flying in Peru, nice. Pentagon, I'm sorry I missed your message. I just remembered that. For those of you that missed the inside joke, I think it was about 3 or 4 months ago. I was in X-Plane 11 and decided to fly from, what was it? Taipei, probably Taipei or some airport in Taiwan to Hong Kong, to the old Kai Tak airport. I downloaded the scenery and I said, okay, I'm going to give it a try. Let's just say I tested the buoyancy of the Airbus and we basically sailed across Victoria Harbor back on land. Couldn't get the plane in the air fast enough, so we basically boated back over to Kai Tak and then we taxied to the gate. But it's a thing. You know, you have to laugh at yourself sometimes. You really do have to laugh at yourself sometimes. Okay, but don't mind me. Let me go ahead and stay focused. I want to see what I can do to make these points line up. Okay, let's pick global and see if we can use global to get these 2 points to agree. Okay, okay. I think I just did. And let me find this point here as well. Well, now I can stretch this all the way to the other side where the other dot is for the other side of the wall. So I'm creating walls for the hanger. That was a good moment. Oh, was it ever? It 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 was one of those things, Pentagon, where it was like, yeah, this isn't ending well, and then brrr, just like that wall, it went right off the runway. We'll fly to America later. Nice. Okay, so Y is the factor I want to copy. And now what we can do is set those points on the other side. Boop. And do the same thing for this point. And now we can take the, what was it? The Y coordinates for this wall. Is it? Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. There we go. Got it. Boom. And we've got this lined up. It's not perfect, but this one is. So I can take this line, excuse me, I can take this vertex, and now we've got this lined up almost perfectly. We take that dot, we grab its Z value, and we transition back to that wall piece, give it the same value for Z, and blammo, we have at least part of the wall set up. Now, we're going to take that vertex and we're going to take it up to where the wall first meets the ceiling. And there we go. And grab the other wall. I'm going to take that Z value and copy it, and we're going to set that up. So Z value is good, or at least I thought it was. It's not perfect, so I'm going to have to adjust it on both sides. Oh, wait, before I do that, let me grab the Z value for this piece here. And we're going to lift it. That's good. Grab the X value as well. And then grab that vertex and pop it where it's supposed to go. That's better. So we'll lower this. And right about there is where I want it to be. So what if it's just 6? 6 is represented the original height of this, so that's good. That is a good value. It's like playing Family Feud. Good answer, good answer. Okay. There we go. Okay, so step 1 is complete. Now you have the makings of a separate hanger, but either we're going to keep this so air can go through all the hangers, or this needs to go up to the top. So what I need to do is select this line and then split it, I believe. Edge split or split? Split? No, no. Split isn't what I want. I think I need to do a vertex selection instead. So what do? I'm going to subdivide. No. Wait, I think that's what I have to do. but I have to pick a different point first. No, that's not working. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to get rid of the hanger for now because I want to just work on the line. This is what we do. We learn by doing, folks. Oh, yes. Select 2 vertices. Thank you. Okay, 2 vertices selected. Right click and smooth, mirror, merge, split, separate. No, not separate. No, not split. Subdivide. Yes, there we go. That's how you subdivide. Clearly, that's how you do it. Thank you, my friend. All right, now what I can probably do is take the X and Y coordinates for the inner piece, which is really hard to tell from this angle. Oh, I know why it's hard to tell, because I hid the I hid the inside. I did backface culling, or I hid the inner faces of the polygon so they're not rendered. So it saves your graphics card. All right, Z is the value, and I need that Z or Z value. All right, great. Now I can select this wall again, and I can pick the vertex, and now I can say blammo. Is that too much of a blammo? It is too much of a blammo because I had everything selected. Okay, back down. Just you. There we go. All right, so. But now you have n-gons. Okay, so that's about it. Do I care about how thick this wall is? For this hanger, no. I am going to duplicate it several times because I want it to match up with the other separations. So I'm going to call this plane hanger wall separator. And what do I want? Do I want to put plaster on this wall? I think I want to put plaster on this wall. So I'm going to grab the plaster texture that I have. And eventually at some point, I think, like to create my own textures, which is part of the other conversation that I might be having with Skylane later, but not for right now. Do I have painted plaster? I do. I do. Let me use the painted plaster color, normal, and roughness textures. Pop them in the hanger. Do I have painted plaster? And I'm going to use them for the separators. I might keep them bright. I don't know yet. But we're going to add the material and say hanger wall separator. And we're going to turn this into an MSFS standard texture. Oh, that's a good point, Aramaric. I'm not sure what to do about it. The out that I have right now is that this isn't going to be a highly visible wall, but I am going to be paying attention to that going forward. MSEP, Mrs. Digi is she's getting by. She's several months out from surgery, but the problem that we're having right now is that the recovery process is a lot slower than either one of us anticipated. She's having difficulty She's having difficulty not putting weight on her feet. It's basically like the body is a very delicate and interesting instrument. God created us in such a way that all the moving parts in our bodies work almost what's the word, in synergy. And when you have trouble, when you have something as small as a tiny surgery, your body recovers in ways that you're not prepared for. So her surgery, she's having difficulty, she's having difficulty um with the process of just getting back on her feet and walking around a lot. So what am I trying to say? Yeah, it's taken a while. It's taken a while. It's a slower recovery than we were prepared for, but we keep at it. We try to do our best, and hopefully it will turn out to be good. But we'll see. If things don't pick up after about the next month, we'll see what happens. Oh wait, that's normal. That's not roughness. Normal goes here, and roughness goes here. Now I see what you mean. Okay, so you can use the knife tool to click on the new vertex you did in the middle and go all the way down to the edge. It should be highlighted when you're on it, then click. It would create a new vertex down and connect both vertices. Yes, earlier this year, Aramark, back in January. I mean, she's on the mend. It's just taking longer than the both of us would like it to. Okay. I'm gonna take a little bit of time to probably practice using the knife, but today I'm just like creating the walls as quickly as I can. However, I am gonna see if I can manipulate that using the UV editor. And I believe she appreciates it when you guys, send her wishes for a speedy recovery. So let's see. There's the wall. And I see what you mean. So what I might need to do is to play with these vertices to see how I can actually make the wall do better. It's kind of what I did before with my other scenery when I was using the inset tool. So what can I do? Okay. So this is definitely not the way that I would imagine most folks would do it, but at the same time, I'm having fun warping and distorting textures. That's not going to work, but this is cool. This is cool, actually. Let me reset these and oh, select the face in the UV view. So we've got the face, and then hit U and unwrap. Oh my word, you just blew my mind. So it reconfigured the texture for my polygon shape. That is absolutely nuts. That is dope. Oh wow. Okay. And I can scale the texture so that it doesn't look so, you know, humongously like splotchy. And there we go. Voila. Et voilà. Magnifique. All right. So now you have a painted plaster wall texture, which is essentially going to be from floor to ceiling, and we're going to use it to separate the walls. So now I can take this and move this into the next spot. It's hard to see because I made this all one texture. I'm sorry, made this all one object. In the past, I would build buildings using a collection of objects put together. So I might start doing that again. It will make things easier to hide and to show, but I'm not worried about that right now. I'm going to go roughly to, oh, not very far. All right, let's go back to layout view. And now we're going to go ahead and manipulate this and move it around really fast. So we're going to create multiple copies of this wall, and then we're going to fine tune them so that the building is done. One of the few French words assimilated by English native speakers. Touche. And now we're going to go ahead and create a bunch of copies and do the super boring stuff, put them in place, blah, 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 blah. You guys get the idea. So now we have 1 and 2, and somebody can buckle their shoe, but and we're going to copy this one some more. Actually, stand by. We're going to go ahead and copy both of these at once because we're going to be moving these as a pair. And again, we can fine tune this once we get to a better place, but for right now, I'm not worried about it. I'm going to call that 3 and call that one 4. And where is it? Yeah, right there. And if you're a UK speaker, you'll have the sweet Alonzi. Alonzi? Alonzi? Alon's Y? I'm sorry. I'm butchering this. It's okay, did you? Just, keep doing your thing. It's okay. But a good afternoon or good evening or good morning to everybody here, depending on what corner of the world you call home. I'm happy that you tuned in this afternoon to catch me doing some scenery dev today. Here we go, it means. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So, it's like, Digi, why are you spending so much time like working with this thing and like copying it? Just move faster. Well, I'm doing things like this right now, so I don't have to do them later. Because if you let a bunch of, for lack of a better phrase, administrative work pile up when you're rendering scenery, and you have to do all that stuff once you're done with it, it's going to be like, ugh, I don't feel like doing this at all. It sucks. Ugh, it's terrible. But if you do a little bit at a time, like my wife has reminded me time and time again, some things, man, it's wiser to do some things when you get them. As I get older, I think as I get older, I'm starting to appreciate that more. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Okay, we'll only copy this wall because we don't have to copy the other one. And I'll call this one separator 9. And we'll move that in place. Now, normally, if you were going to create something that was that intricate, you would probably want to spend a little bit of time getting your wall placements, your wall separator placements precise. I'm gonna just finesse it a little bit on the outside and not freak out about it too much for two reasons. Number one, I don't want to spend all stream focused on this, and number two, it's not going to be one of the hangers which you're going to be able to enter into opened right now. I was thinking right now, yeah, it happens sometimes. I know, it happens to me too. If you need some help on your modeling, let me know. Air Americ, I might take you up on that. Send me a DM, or if you're on my Discord, and I believe you are, send me a DM on Discord, and we'll talk. I wanna pick your brain, or I wanna see how we can both benefit each other from any kind of potential collaboration, or even if it's just like a bit of a scenery dev clinic, if you will. So thank you. Appreciate that. I am taking a bit longer with this building than I would have liked, but if I'm going to do anything different on the stream, it is going to be that I am going to go flying once I'm done adding these walls and finessing this, instead of working on another building. I do plan on speeding up the process for creating other buildings for my scenery. I don't want to forego quality too much, but I am going to create some objects without going into extensive details on things. Like, I might create the drainage for this building, but I'm not going to create the individual rivets for the actual, metal pieces, if you will. MSEP, thank you so much for stopping by. Really appreciate having you. Have a fantastic day. Sorry, evening. And I might catch you if you spend some time on Canuck's stream, if he is streaming tonight, which I hope he is, because I'll say hello. But otherwise, have a great rest of your day. So this one was off more than I'd like it to be. And let's go ahead and grab the other wall. Fortunately, there are only a few walls left, and I think the first two are in pretty good shape. So if that's the case, then we're going to go ahead and take a quick pass through. This is the western side of the building, and this would be where the plane gets parked. And I would have to test the dimensions of it to see whether or not this is big enough for even a tiny Cessna to fit in. So we'll see. Bop, 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 bop. A little weird. Bop, bop. And then the last one, bop, bop, bop. And there we go. And we're out. I have not created an interior for the office space yet. I will probably do that this week, but like I said, it's going to be a very basic interior. And there you go. Much to learn for myself, I know, but I'm happy to be able to create these things. Before I finish my render and save it so that it can show up in the sim, I am probably going to mess around with the rubber coating, or basically the pretend tarp for the roof, because it is definitely stretched for sure, but I want to make sure this is better. We'll go to UV. It's already selected, that's good. I'll center the view. All right, let me see if I can do this. Select it. Let's hit U. That's a lot better. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and expand it, scale it so it's not so grainy. And the texture is repeating, but I expected that. And now I think we need to add some missing detail to this texture. Yeah, there's the problem. I didn't add the roughness or normal maps to this. So there is my roughness, and here comes my normal map. Okay, now that's better. Okay, now folks, let's not talk too much about the idea of putting, rubber on top of this in real life. I'm happy that this actually looks a lot better than it does. We will select this and hit U. And there we go. Now we need to expand it some more. Air Americ coming in clutch with the texturing tip. Really appreciate that. And I think I think that's good. Pretty close to good. Although the one side seems more coarse than the other. Actually, I might want to make this, I might not want to make this too fine a texture. I think I like the idea of it being very much imperfect up here. So this is actually pretty good. Okay. It ain't perfect, but it'll fly. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I will I will most likely show my appreciation to you in the form of a pre-release copy so that you can preview the scenery before it releases on Sim Market. Just DM me and we'll talk details. But yes, actually, I'm very glad I did that because now it has a lot more texturing. Before I'm done with this roof, I'm probably going to puff it out, make the edges easier to put gutters on, and then I'll probably do that this week. I can save it and I can probably try to include it in the sim right now, but that would take a little bit too long. So I'm going to save my work for today and I'm going to probably play around with this a little bit more tonight once I have more time to take a look at it, add some more details, and move on. But in case you missed it, for the first part of today's stream, we've been working on texturing and adding a few more details and fixing some issues like a floor which was not correct at first, which I think is better now. Oh, I believe you. I believe you. Your recommendations come highly appreciated. So let's go back to layout. Let's select everything, hit Control S, and then I think I can actually hit export and actually before I do that, let me stop. I'm going to grab the JPEG and PNG files, make sure they're all in the textures folder for Blender, and now I should be able to create my GLTF file without difficulty. Okay, so bear with me temporarily. Going to export extended GLTF. I'll double check my settings. We will eventually apply modifiers for the sake of creating levels of detail. And then we include selected object, which is everything. And I can hit export. Ooh, something wrong? Something happened. Hopefully it didn't go bananas, but hold on. Give me a bit. Let's see if the GLTF file's borked. It looks like it actually did not create the GLTF file. Oh, you got it, error mark. Let me see. Why was it complaining? We have all the textures that we need, so why is it complaining? I'm going to get rid of the GLTF file that I have because I want it to regenerate. Something kept it from doing something. Modifiers include. Oh, I got it. I picked a different output. No, no, something's not happening. No GLTF files being rendered. I wonder what's wrong. All right, let me check something out briefly, guys. Give me a bit. Let me also expand my my flight sim window, if I can. This is used to me streaming in 2160p, so that's probably why it's complaining. Okay. but this is my scenery to date. And let me get rid of some of the, or all of the things, just so it looks nicer. There we go. All right, so stand by. Camp Route, hello. Good to see you. Been a while, friend. Welcome back. This is yeah, it's been a nice chunk of people saying hello today. Hope that you're having a very good day, friend, and I hope that your week ahead will be very good. I am doing some scenery development, and if I can squeeze some time in, I'll probably do a very quick flight in the sim before I have to go. I'm troubleshooting something. You're looking at Flight Sim right now because I need to see whether or not I can fix a rendering problem, and I'm having difficulty understanding why it's not allowing me to finish what I'm starting. So I have all my things selected, or at least I thought I did. And is there a problem? Oh, wait. Control S, export. We'll try it again. It looks like the export settings are borked, so I'm going to close Blender and come back in and see if it's a problem. Thank you, Camp Route. I am doing okay. Mrs. Digi is on the mend from surgery from earlier this year. Unfortunately, it's taking longer for the recovery than both of us would like, but we're stepping through it as best we can right now. So I'm trying to create opportunities so that we can take better care of the situation and also take care of each other. Okay, so I'm looking at my building again. Everything's selected. I'm going to go ahead and try to export it again, see if there's a problem. And let's reselect it. Okay. And now I have a GLTF file again. There we go, folks. Sometimes the answer is exit and go back in. Okay, so now I have a hangar with inner walls. The office isn't rendered yet, but now the roof covering is a lot more realistic. It almost looks like just a tarp, but it's a rubber texture that I'm using. I might play around with the PBR aspect of it, but it is rendered. So, good enough. In the meantime, folks, let me give you a quick tour of the state of KPYM right now. This is Plymouth Municipal Airport in Plymouth, Massachusetts. There is a Plymouth logo on it. I'm not sure if it's the same IRL right now, but on the tarmac, there is actually an AvFuel station, and I parked a truck there. There are some cars that are parked in the satellite photos, so I decided to include them. I also created the individual parking lot lines for the main terminal, drew the arrow, and this is the main entrance for it. So I might try to create a sign for Plymouth. There's a trash can here, some, I think, fuel tanks and a fuel truck. These are the hangars slash what I call storage facilities. They don't have interiors, so I'm not worried about them. I'm probably going to put the same rubber tarp-like texture on top and see if I can paint it. And when you come into the airport, thank you, Camp Brown. Really appreciate your support. And Air America, welcome back. I created these signs using Blender, and basically I used just wrote the text in to the signage. The logo is actually a texture that Eric Flight provided. And then we have the directions to get to Alpha 1 flight. And I even made a little buzz-in thing that you could actually, tap the button for. I'm supposed to get a little bit better picture of it so we can make that look a lot more realistic. And I'll probably try to texture this with something, maybe even a basic metal or flaky metal texture, so it's not just purely shiny. And recently I created a new sign for here, which I like. All these things are basically created in Blender. I didn't actually use any texture mapping at all. And then I need to create the Yankee Aviation building because it's not this. It's actually, I think, like blue or like a silvery blue. I added more of those terminals in here. Hangers. And these are the open hangers that I created. Big enough to fit a TBM in. And the lights actually turn on after a certain point in the day and turn off at a certain point in the morning. This is what these hangers basically look like when they're opened up. I'm still debating whether or not I actually want to render them so that they actually open automatically for you. I might, but it does involve a little extra programming, which I don't have the time for right now, but I might a little bit later. So we have more of those, and I might randomize which ones are open and which ones are closed when I finish the scenery. We have taxiway lines, which I believe are actually yellow instead of white. I thought they were white, but that's fine. Plenty of parking spaces, and the actual flight school, which I'm probably going to populate with either posters or generic pictures. There's a coffee table. Ooh, complete with a mug and a coffee maker, which I have yet to elaborate on, but I'm glad it rendered today. And we have lights and, of course, the door to the tarmac. And then you have the hangars. And I built these also custom in Blender. And then the rest of it is the custom line work for the taxiways, which I need to finish because there are certain parts of the scenery where the cars follow the lines exactly the way they are, which results in a ballet of just trucks going on the runway and then trucks coming off the runway. So even if this is invisible, which it probably is, I'm going to make a line cutting straight across. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to do that right now, just to show you. So I'm going to reselect all the things, and we are going to save a change to the scenery tonight. So the blue dots are the taxi lines. So I'm probably going to label them for easy selection. And I'm going to select this dot as well. And we're going to call it that as well. Why am I doing that? So that we can actually find them very easily, select them both, and then be able to create a taxi line between them. We create a path, but we are going to select the path with which we've just created, and we're going to get rid of the center line. That way, the AI traffic can cross the runway and there won't actually be a line drawn. I might do that with some of the other taxiways that I've created so that I don't have to draw the lines, because I don't think this line exists IRL. I'm not worried about that too much, but I am going to go ahead and create the other line here so that it's easy to remember. And I'm not going to do that with all the other lines. I'm just going to go ahead and save my changes and then be done. So first thing I'm going to do, of course, is get rid of the other labels that I created so that I don't have weird taxi points. Of course, that wouldn't be a bad thing. In fact, I could probably make my taxiway points even easier to compartmentalize so that it's easy to find them when I do something online. So let's go ahead and select these like we did before. And we're going to create another taxiway path. And we're going to select taxiway path. And we're going to remove the center line. So again, now we don't have to worry about painting the line, and AI traffic can get from one side of the runway to the other without turning left and then turning back down this way, which is not what we want. Otherwise, let me think. Yeah. There's going to be like one or two other spots. I'm going to do that too, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I want to stop. I have to exercise restraint. But there you go. In case you were curious about the process that I follow, that's just a little piece of it. And eventually, of course, I need to finish this airport, and I'm going to create this new terminal building, and hopefully with screenshots from, excuse me, photos from Eric Flight, we'll be able to get that done. I may also try to create a much smaller rotating beacon, if I can figure out how to do that quickly enough, so that the beacon is not as large as it would be at, say, a standard MSFS airport. But there you go. That's the current state of the airfield. Let me go ahead and save this and go back to the main menu, and then we can start a flight in the sim. So let me grab my joysticks, and we will do a very quick flight in the sim today in the 414, like I promised. And we'll do a quick GA flight. I don't know where we'll do it. We might either fly in Europe or down in Florida or in the Caribbean. The Caribbean sounds ultra luxurious. Let me think. Where can I go that I haven't been to in a while or that I haven't been to at all? I've seen people fly to Catalina Island in the sim, but I haven't spent too much time there, and I haven't bought any other scenery for it. So probably the bespoke Catalina Island airport is probably very good. And let me see what my volume level is like right now. Okay, you guys should probably be able to hear me without too much trouble. Let me fire up my throttle. Okay, so tell you what, first person to answer gets it. Let me think. The US, Canada, the Caribbean, Europe, or somewhere in Asia? Let me know. And then we can fire up the 414 and have some fun. I'm going to grab the props, go for the 414 wherever it is. There we go. There's the Chancellor. I think it's a Chancellor, right? And we will pick... Oh, right. I made the mistake of picking the wrong version of the plane because I thought it came with the GTN 750. That's an add-on. So I'm going to pick any one of these with the GNS 530. So they're all like there's the same four liveries repeated based on plane type. So tell you what, we'll pick the blue livery and we will keep the same registration, but we're not going to go ahead and go into detail here. Get rid of the flight number. It's just a registration for a plane. And since nobody chimed in, we're going to go fly. You know what? Let's see how quickly we can get from Block Island to either Connecticut or Rhode Island. Middletown has a relatively small airfield that we can fly to. And let's see, how big is the runway? Okay, they're small, but I mean the runway we're taking off from is really small too, so that shouldn't be a problem. All right, we'll do this. I'm going to basically cheat because I have no shame, and I'm going to go ahead, start on the runway, which means the plane will be started up. Sorry for any purists out there. Today, right now, I just don't care. We'll take off from there, and we're not going to fly with real weather because it is way too cloudy. And we're going to fly to Middletown, and we will land and probably park at ramp 25. So it's a direct hop, 10 minutes, and just a quick way to stretch our legs and to celebrate being able to fly a GA plane. Clear skies today at 3:47 p.m. So plenty of sunshine in my. Ooh, what's this? What? Okay, did I just show up to the party late? Who else knew that you could actually get offers on the world map to download airports? That's pretty neat. Um, it is on the marketplace, so take that as you will. But that's nice. That's actually pretty nice. That's kind of dope. All right. I turned off my multiplayer and IRL traffic options in the Sims. I have to turn it back on there. Let's go. If the volume's too loud or too quiet, folks, let me know. And yes, I am going to fly a steam gauge plane using the V key to show exactly the way to Middletown. Like I said, I have no shame. Iowa Scotsman, I gotta tell you, this plane sounds amazing. It sounds so cool. Now, I know my way a little bit around the plane. There are certain things that I can imagine, look a certain way. I don't need prop anti-ice. This is perfect weather. We're gonna pretend it's a little cold out, so put the cabin heat on. Pitot heat's already on. And what else am I missing? We do have batteries and things on. Lights are on. Landing lights are on. And we're cooling. Okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna stress out about this too much. We do have a GNS on hand. I don't know what this is, so I'm gonna have to learn about it, and I probably will learn about it because I do want to do more GA flying, and this is such a nice plane to fly in. And now I think I can go ahead and adjust my range. Ooh, the clicky clicky. 35 miles sounds good. Iquitos in Peru. All right, so good enough. Let's get some flaps down. And this is a really short runway. Plus, we're like, what? Oh, we're way further up the runway than we need to be. Oh, no, 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 no. We're not doing it this way. Sorry. Yeah, we need to go back. Nope. We got to go back, y'all. I'm going to put on some headphones, so to speak. If it's too quiet, let me know. I just don't want to like blare it too loudly in anybody's ears. This is like a 2,400-foot long runway. I don't want to be that far up the runway already. So no, no, not at all. Okay, good stuff. Now we can get going. So we've got flaps. What do we have flaps set to? Let me check real fast. Do we have flaps set? Okay, flaps are over on the right side. We are at 15 or 30. That's 15. I'm going to use 30. And that should do it. All right. This is completely off the cuff. And honestly, other than turning multiplayer traffic on, you know what? I'm not going to be flying into the path of any, major airliners. So we'll turn that on too. Let's have some fun. And here we go. Maxed out for manifold pressure. 60 knots. Duck! Woo. Incoming Airbuses. We just made it. All right, folks, positive rate. Barely. Gear up. All right, I'm adding some manual trim. Oh, I do like this plane so much. I need to learn how to fly it more, but, baby steps. Baby steps. Manually trimming the plane. Our flaps are up. And we'll probably be flying at about maybe, what? 3,500 feet? If we can get up that high in time. It's literally like a 50-mile trip, so I'm not going to climb that high. So nice. Thank you so much, Iowa Scotsman. Really appreciate the opportunity to fly this plane. Thanks to you. It's a work of art. So we're climbing at about 100 and a little bit less than 120 knots. Okay, here's the challenge. Can I actually get the autopilot to bug up an altitude? Oh, no, wait. That's the altimeter. Let's get a heading bugged up. So roughly, what, 060? Oh, no, those are lights. Those aren't the actual autopilot buttons. Where are the autopilot buttons? We're flying VFR anyway. Let's see. Where are we? We have comm, we have nav. We are climbing higher than we need to go, but I'm not worried about it right now. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and cut the throttle back a bit. And Wait, that's altitude alert. That's not the altitude. That's decision height. What am I missing? Well, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. I'm not sure what I'm doing here, but I'm having fun. Okay, so there's plenty I need to learn. For a start. I wonder why that button's not working. CV. Phasing. Is the autopilot button on the side? No, that can't be right. All my autopilot functions are right in front of me. Or should be. This is RNAV. I'm looking for... First off, I'm trying to turn the autopilot on. And this is the GNS 530, so it's not the GTN 750. I'm trying to find the button on here somewhere that actually controls the autopilot. That actually turns it on, because it's not this button. ID, comms. That switches between nav and GPS. That's the mode selector. Why isn't it working? Because I haven't turned it on, but where's the autopilot? Right. At least I'm squawking now. One 169. Message. Set course to 045. That's weird. That's okay. It's alright. I'm having fun. I'm having fun. Eventually, I will figure out where all the things go. And I'm way too high for the approach, so we're going to have fun coming down. It's okay. This is a great plane to fly VFR. I mean, the thing feels nice. Looks like my manifold pressure got too low. I don't want to starve the engines. And I don't really want, I didn't really want to climb higher than, you know, like 6,000 feet, because I don't want to start messing with mixture. We're going to overfly the field anyway before we land. So the rest of the autopilot functions aren't on. But wait. No. A little weird. I wonder what I'm forgetting to actually activate. I would like to know. We are descending though, which is good. And autopilot, GPS. Those are the localizers. Yeah, a little weird. I mean, I wish I knew. Just a decision height setting, a test. And you can definitely say I'm a recovering magenta child. But okay, we're below 2,500 feet, so that's okay. We're not that far away from the airport either. So let me go ahead and turn and at least overfly the field. Oh, look at that. The field's right there. I don't know what the winds are right now, but whatever. Outside air temperature is not that warm. So the airport's just off like my 11 o'clock. Right here. If we have a clear day, I'm going to pretend that the winds are just completely calm. So I have my choice of runway. And since no one's flying with me and I'm not on VATSIM, I'm going to go ahead and just pretend we're already on a downwind. And we'll do an extended base and final so that I can start getting ready. Okay, gotcha. Such a nice plane to fly. We'll give it some manifold pressure, and I will put the gear down now. I'll also put flaps to 15. Let me just tap through the screens real quick. Nope. Didn't see that. Let's go ahead and turn base and final. Flaps to 30. And just like that, we are on final. Beacons off in the distance. So we're barely in the green for manifold pressure. RPMs at about 2,500 RPMs. but we are high for the approach. We're a little bit to the right of the runway. Wind should be calm, so planning it down shouldn't be a problem. Middle marker? Or was it the inner marker? Probably the inner marker. Vassies. Red over white. There we go. And down. All right. Brakes. We're going to go off the runway. It's okay. Won't be going too fast. So I probably should have had my flaps all the way down. But that's fun. It's a pretty small runway. Wow. But that was fun. How much time do I have? Not a lot of time. I should probably start wrapping up pretty quickly. But I think I am going to spend some spare time looking at this plane and seeing if I can't really get the hang of learning how to fly it more. It's such a nice plane, such a nice looking plane at least. It really does feel like it has heft to it because I wasn't able to stop on a dime. But that's fun. This is I forget the name of the airport, but this is Middletown. And we'll put it right here. And there we go. Parking brake set. Let's go full lean and cut the engines. Okay, excellent. Transponders off, and we are on the ground. Hey, Woolies. Hello, thanks for saying hi. It's going okay. We were doing a little bit of scenery development earlier this afternoon, and I took the 414 Chancellor for a very quick flight in the sim, and I have just put it down. Now, dare I try to fly a helicopter for a little bit for some extra memes? I dare. Just temporarily, at least. Yeah, pick not the editor. I want to pick the aircraft selector. I'm not flying a jet. Let's see, Cessna. They're not named what you think they're named easily, so let's see, Asobo. I think it's like the Cabri or something. Definitely not the 747. The Chancellor, the Global. I could drive a car. Or the Snow Explorer. Interesting. Oh, there we go. Here's the Cabri. Let's load it. Let's have some fun. Cabri G2, thanks. That's what I need. There we are. The flight model on this this helicopter is way more forgiving for me than the Bell, for some strange reason. I need to figure out how to really get comfortable flying that helicopter because I like it. I flew the Jet Ranger in FSX and like for the missions. So, all lights on, and let's go ahead and go flying. Okay, now I will profess I am no expert helicopter pilot. I have spent time flying with the more forgiving flight models in FSX and even the way less forgiving flight model in FS98. But I think I understand some of the concepts with regards to um, what is it that I'm saying? Some of the concepts with regards to flying a helicopter, like the concept of trying to hover the plane and how to counteract or how to fly sideways or how to fly backwards, although I've barely ever tried that. I like flying a helicopter sometimes just to get really close to the scenery, and FS 2020 clearly is a great candidate for that. Also, I have downloaded and installed something called We Love VFR, which is a add-on for MSFS, which adds a whole bunch of things to the scenery, which I don't think would normally be there anyway. I think this is way more infrastructure, but at the same time, there might be a few buildings that they added on, like way off in the distance, that wind tower, for example, which I'll probably go check out real fast. Then I'll put the helicopter down, and then we're going to go ahead and call it a stream. But thank you to everybody that stopped in and said hello. Thank you for your support. Thank you for those folks that have been lurking. And I guess thank you to the bots as well. I have been doing this on stream, well, flying on stream for the past 5 years. I want to say 5 years was when I actually became an affiliate. I want to say that. And then after that, what? Well, back in 2022, I made a change to actually start doing scenery development. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. And yes, I used to actually fly the Apache helicopter in the old gunship computer games, but I haven't touched helicopters that much anymore. And honestly, with the Cabri and with the MD 500 and the other helicopters that are coming out that are coming to the sim, there for me, there's no excuse anymore for me not to spend time behind the controls of a whirlybird. I like helicopter flight, and if I can get really good at it, then I might really start appreciating it and doing these kinds of flights in the sim a lot more. Um, kind of. We're we're doing like a few minutes of flying a helicopter. I'm flying the Cabri G2, which is a fantastic helicopter. I like it. I like it way more than the Robinson, which I see flying when I go places in the States. This is so much more sleek, but I'm having fun. Typically, folks, if you're curious, I tend to stream scenery development weekday nights. I tend to do it 1 to 3 times a week. I don't do as many weekend streams as I used to anymore, but I might pick that up depending on what schedule looks like or prior obligations are. I am really working towards finishing Kilo Papa Yankee Mike, which is Plymouth Municipal Airport in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Right now, we're not in Plymouth, we're actually in Rhode Island, but I am trying to get the airport finished so I can release it on Sim Market. Maybe use the proceeds from the sale to try to attend FS Expo this year, because otherwise I don't think we're going to be I'm going to be able to attend. I really would like to go, but it does clearly depend on finances and being able to make the trip. So we'll do the best we can, but I don't know. It's up in the air right now. If you'll if you'll pardon the pun, it was not intended. Let's put it down in this field over here and call it for today. In your defense, Kev, I have been way less consistent in the past couple of months with regards to um, schedule. So, it's not hard to figure out why sometimes our view counts are low. It's literally a question of me saying something like, "Oh, I'll stream at this time," and then I don't. So Oh, I get it. All right. A gentle descent, Digi. Gentle. Gentler than that. Come on. Just a little bit of pitch forward. Thought there were supposed to be ground effects. Okay, gentle enough for me. The Can I put it down somewhere like right about here without just a humongous plop? Point. Uh, the detent between me actually putting it down gently and just blasting it down, it's just this big valley. It's hard to. So I gotta finesse it. I am the pun meister. You're right. Okay. Thank you, Aramark. Really appreciate having you here. Appreciate you stopping by today's stream. And folks, thanks for saying hello. Thanks for stopping by. I didn't expect to be flying a helicopter. I kind of didn't expect to be streaming this afternoon, but I figured, hey, why not give it a go? Um, it's been real. I like to do scenery dev a lot more these days than fly, but I still get the occasional flight in, as you can clearly see. And based on the promise of Vocabulary, I might be doing way more helicopter flights, at least helicopter flights in the sim. So let me just finesse the landing portion just a bit and see what the ground effects are like. No, it's tricky. It's see, if I start flying helicopters a lot, then it's probably gonna make me want to get rudder pedals, because if I'm using my throttle as a collective, then I should probably not be in a place where it's difficult for me to control my throttle power, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to control my throttle well enough to control my rudders. I'm not going to be able to control my rudders well enough to control my throttle, and then I'm going to just keep plopping it down to the ground. But it is fun. It is fun. Folks, I'm going to go ahead and head out. Let's see how many brave souls are still here. 7 of you. Nice. At least per my dashboard. So let's do this. Let's go say hi to somebody real quick. I'm going to raid and roll, and let's see who we can pick. Man, a pleasure to have you here, Kev, even if it was only for just a little bit. His American says, see ya. Take care, Aramark. Sim Caesar is doing group fly-alongs. Factual Gull is also doing flight sim. I can't tell. Let me just check real fast. I am going to check. It also looks like Citation Max is going to be flying to Cuba. So who else can I say hello to? Let's see. Decimal, Martin Wenzel. Let's go ahead and raid our friend Factual Gull. So I'll get the raid set up. Or you know what? Nah, we're going to raid Cool Joe. Yep, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and set up the raid now. Cool Joe 007. And again, folks, thank you so much for stopping in today and saying hello. I appreciate having you guys with me. And like I always like to say when I wrap up my streams, if you want true peace, you want the Prince of Peace, and that is Jesus Christ. Take care, friends. Until next time, have a great week ahead, and we'll see ya.